The Oklahoma City Thunder's 2024-2025 season was nothing short of historic. They didn't just dominate the Western Conference, they finished with the best record in the West and capped it all off by winning the franchise's very first NBA championship. It's a moment fans have been waiting on since the team's arrival in OKC back in 2008. But this title doesn't just represent a breakthrough, it's also rewriting the franchise's history. And according to Lakers legend Robert Horry, it's pushing some big names into the background, including Kevin Durant. Durant, of course, was the face of the Thunder for nearly a decade. Alongside Russell Westbrook and James Harden, he led the team to the 2012 NBA Finals. But despite all the hype and potential, OKC couldn't bring home the trophy back then. That 2012 run was the closest they got. Now, 13 years later, a different Thunder roster has done what KD and his crew couldn't: bring a championship to Oklahoma City. And Horry believes that achievement changes everything. Speaking on his Big Shot Bob podcast, the seven-time NBA champion talked about the Rockets' upcoming season opener against OKC. Durant, now playing for Houston, will have to watch from the visitors' bench as the Thunder raise their championship banner. Horry couldn't resist poking fun at the situation. He joked, "See, if you'd have stayed here, you could have been the first to put up a banner. But you wanted to go to greener pastures." It was a light-hearted jab, but it highlighted a painful truth for some fans. Durant didn't win it all in OKC. He had to leave for Golden State to capture his 2 rings, and while those titles cemented his status as one of the game's greats, they didn't do much for his Thunder legacy. Horry went on to explain why being part of a team's first championship is so special. He used his own career as an example, pointing to his role on the Houston Rockets teams that won back-to-back titles in the mid-90s. "In Houston, they haven't won a championship since we left in '95, Horry said. "But the guys that were on that team, those 8 main guys, are still loved by that city because you brought the first championship to that city. That's the kind of permanent place in history Horry says this current Thunder team has now earned." And here's where he really stirred the pot. He joked that Durant isn't just being overshadowed by OKC's current superstars like Shai, Gilgeous-Alexander or Chet Holmgren. No, in Horry's words, KD is even being pushed aside by role players like Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. The comment got laughs from his co-hosts, especially because Caruso was mentioned ahead of Shai, who, by the way, is the reigning league MVP. Of course, Horry wasn't seriously comparing Caruso's career to Durant's in terms of talent or scoring ability. But his point was clear: when fans look back decades from now, it's the 2025 Thunder championship team that will stand out in the record. Every player from that roster, superstar or role player, will hold a special place in the city's heart. For OKC fans, Durant's exit in 2016 still stings. Leaving for the Golden State Warriors, already a championship powerhouse, felt to many like a betrayal. It's a wound that time hasn't fully healed, especially now that the Thunder have won a title without him. Durant's legacy in Oklahoma City is complicated. On one hand, he's the franchise's first MVP and the man who helped put the team on the map. On the other, he left before delivering the ultimate prize, and now another group has done it without him. The truth is, legacies are tricky in sports. For all of Durant's individual accolades and undeniable greatness, his chapter in OKC history might always be remembered as the what could have been era. And with this new banner hanging in Paycom Center, that chapter might start to fade for some fans. As for Durant, he's focused on the future. The upcoming season with the Houston Rockets gives him another chance to compete at the highest level and maybe even challenge the Thunder's new dominance in the West. But whether or not he can add another championship to his resume, the 2025 Thunder will always have the bragging rights as the team that got it done first. And as Robert Horry knows better than most, in the NBA, being first changes everything.